Have you ever felt the weight of years, the unspoken fear of starting fresh as time marches on? If you've ever questioned whether it's too late to rewrite your story, you're not alone. The path life carves for us often feels unyielding, as though our prime opportunities lie only in our youth. But this video will challenge that notion, reminding you that as long as we are alive, we can begin again, bravely, authentically, and with purpose. Stay with me until the end, as we unravel the fears holding us back and discover the keys to living with joy, resilience, and a spirit that defies age. By embracing our journeys, at any stage of life, we'll uncover the true freedom to start anew. Before we begin, I would appreciate it if you like this video, you can help me continue to spread the old age lesson. If you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like this video, please comment number 1. If you don't like it, comment number 0 to let me know, so I can make a better video for you. Now let's get started. 1. Fears the need to start anew. The idea of starting over can be daunting, filling many with trepidation and unease, especially as the years accumulate and our lives become more structured and settled. From childhood, society instills in us a sense of life's supposed trajectory. The clear, unyielding path from education to a flourishing career, followed by family, and eventually retirement. We are conditioned to think of life as a one-way street, with our prime opportunities lying in our youth. As time progresses, we're subtly told that our capacity for meaningful change diminishes and that we must simply follow the script we've written thus far. But somewhere deep inside, there's a yearning that tells us otherwise. A subtle but undeniable realization that life is far too expansive, too full of possibilities, to be limited by age or convention. Yet, we often find ourselves ensnared in a web of fears. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, or the fear that perhaps we've missed our chance. These fears build walls around us, locking away our dreams and disguising the truth. As long as we are alive, there is always the potential for renewal, for starting fresh, and for pursuing new dreams. The illusion that change is out of reach as we age is one of the most stifling beliefs we hold. Yet, the truth is far simpler and more liberating. So long as we are breathing, we possess the innate ability to reinvent our lives. Change waits for no perfect moment. It's ever present, a door always ready to be opened. Starting anew is not a matter of youth. It's a matter of bravery, of daring to take that first step no matter where we are in life's journey. Think of life as a book, with each chapter unfolding to reveal its narrative, lessons, and beauty. Just because we've written a multitude of chapters doesn't mean the story has reached its conclusion. At any age, our book still has blank pages waiting to be filled. These pages are not limited to our past accomplishments. They hold the promise of new stories, uncharted adventures, and experiences that can forever change our perspective. Even at ages 70, 80, or beyond, we are far from the final chapter. Life is not a rigid script that follows predetermined steps but rather a dynamic tale, bursting with opportunities for reinvention. There is no singular way life should look, and there is no cap on the number of times we can redefine it. Embracing a new chapter might mean anything from learning a language that introduces us to a world of fresh connections to finally exploring a skill or passion we've always set aside. It could mean moving to a new city or even another country, immersing ourselves in a different culture, and welcoming the inspiration it brings. Starting anew can also mean a mindset shift, choosing to value curiosity over routine, and openness over the safety of old habits. It could be the decision to finally write that book within us, to paint a canvas, or to learn a musical instrument. It might mean stepping onto a dance floor for the first time, daring to feel the joy of the music. Or perhaps, it's about letting go of things we no longer need, outdated fears, limiting beliefs, and past traumas, so that we can embrace a new lightness and joy in living. Think of a tree that transforms through each season, shedding its leaves, standing bare in the winter, and then blossoming into a new life in the spring. The tree does not hold back from flowering simply because it has done so in years past. It embraces its cycles of growth and renewal, celebrating the opportunity to flourish again. We, too, are part of nature's rhythm. We can bloom and transform, no matter the season of our lives. Age is but a number, never a barrier to our potential or capacity for new beginnings. Growth and renewal are intrinsic to our very existence. As we allow ourselves to embrace new experiences, we discover life's richness and the deeper meaning that emerges from continual evolution. Starting over doesn't signify failure. Rather, it showcases our wisdom and humility, our understanding that life is a perpetual journey of learning. We have the power to rebuild ourselves, drawing from the strength and lessons we've accumulated over the years. Every new beginning is a tribute to our resilience, a mark of the human spirit's enduring strength. We do not erase our past. Instead, we integrate it, bringing forth the wisdom, courage, and beauty of all we have lived through. As we step into the unknown, our lives gain new purpose and joy. We become more in tune with the world, and more grateful for the beauty of each moment. Remember, we are never truly finished. Each of us holds the power to breathe new life into our days, no matter how many years we've walked this earth. Fresh starts are a celebration of our hope and courage, a declaration that we are never too old to discover new joy and fulfillment. So, do not fear starting over. Embrace the possibility, trust in the journey, and never forget that your story is yours to continue shaping, filled with limitless wonder, purpose, and renewal. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 2. Clinging to the past when it's time to change. Reaching the remarkable milestone of 70 and beyond can feel like being bestowed with an extraordinary, almost magical second chance at life. An unparalleled opportunity to live not according to society's rigid expectations but in alignment with your own heart's deepest desires. Picture the universe presenting you with a beautifully wrapped box, radiating with shimmering possibilities just waiting to be discovered. Inside this enchanting package lies a newfound freedom and a fresh chapter in your life, inviting you to release your grip on the past and instead embrace what genuinely brings you peace, meaning, and joy. It's as if life is gently whispering to you, this is your time to begin anew. Live for yourself, in the way you have always yearned to, but perhaps never quite allowed. As the years accumulate, we often find ourselves gathering not just tangible belongings but also invisible burdens. Society's unyielding expectations, our unspoken fears, and an internalized pressure to prove ourselves worthy. Over the decades, these accumulated weights often build up like layers of sediment, transforming into a heavy backpack of obligations that becomes increasingly exhausting to carry. We convince ourselves that these burdens are essential and that we need them to navigate through life's complexities. Yet, in truth, many of these encumbrances are akin to unused apps cluttering a phone, consuming precious memory and slowing us down, all while offering nothing of genuine value in return. Just as clearing out storage on a device allows it to run faster and smoother, we too must learn to let go of what no longer serves us, what drains our energy instead of uplifting it. Consider Teresa, a woman of 70 who has spent much of her life meticulously preserving keepsakes, holding on to memories and objects as if her identity and worth were intrinsically tied to them. Her home is filled with items she once believed she couldn't live without, knickknacks from cherished vacations, inherited trinkets, and belongings she clings to out of fear that she might need them one day. Each time Teresa attempts to declutter or sort through her possessions, she finds herself paralyzed by the thought that letting go could mean losing a part of herself. However, during a heartfelt conversation over coffee with an old friend who has embarked on a similar journey of release, she hears a simple yet profound piece of advice. What if you let go, Teresa? What if you allowed yourself to live a life that feels lighter? This suggestion stirs something deep within Teresa. For the first time, she considers the possibility that her worth is not anchored in her belongings or her past. Tentatively, she begins the process of letting go of items, starting with those that no longer evoke joy but merely take up space in her home and heart. With each piece she releases, Teresa experiences a peculiar mix of grief and relief. She mourns the years spent feeling tied to these objects, yet she feels an exhilarating sense of liberation with every item she chooses to part with. As she continues this transformative journey, it becomes clear that the layers of societal expectations, the role she once played, and the opinions she previously valued are gently peeling away, revealing something far more authentic and precious, herself. With every object she relinquishes, Teresa begins to rediscover her joy in the simplest, most beautiful things in life. She notices that her mornings feel lighter, her home feels more spacious, and her spirit feels unburdened. No longer weighed down by the invisible load of shoulds and must-haves, Teresa awakens each day to a life that feels expansive and filled with possibilities rather than obligations. She finds happiness in the quiet moments of savoring a morning coffee, in the sunlight streaming through her window, and in the laughter shared with friends. This realization leads her to understand the essence of true freedom, not in accumulating more possessions, but in cherishing what she genuinely values, free from the distractions of the unnecessary. This transition goes beyond mere physical decluttering. It signifies a profound shift in mindset, a conscious decision to focus on what truly brings contentment. There is immense relief in recognizing that, at this stage in life, there's no longer a need to seek approval from others or live up to standards that may have never truly reflected her values. With the wisdom and clarity gained over the years, Teresa learns to discern what brings her joy and what does not. With this newfound insight comes the courage to live authentically, shedding the layers of societal expectations and finally embracing her sense of purpose and fulfillment. Happiness, as Teresa discovers, does not reside in grand achievements or material wealth. Instead, it flourishes in simplicity, in the quiet moments of peace that arise when we let go of what no longer aligns with who we are today. Living lightly does not equate to giving up. Rather, it signifies making room for what matters most. Just as one wouldn't pack a suitcase for a weekend getaway with every item in their closet, it makes little sense to carry through life the things we've collected along the way if they no longer fit this phase of our existence. This new chapter of freedom and authenticity is an invitation to release the emotional baggage we have carried and to embrace the beauty found in simplicity. By letting go, we are not losing anything essential. Instead, we are creating space for new experiences, unfiltered joy, and a sense of ease that emerges only when we are no longer burdened by what once was. Through this process, Teresa learns that true liberation lies not in the accumulation of things, but in the ability to live life fully and authentically, unencumbered by the weight of the past. 3. Unnecessary social obligations. So much of our lives, we carry the weight of social obligations that don't serve our true selves. We accept invitations to gatherings, attend events, and engage in situations that, deep down, we know don't bring us the happiness or fulfillment we deserve. Often, it's out of politeness, habit, or simply because we feel it's expected of us. These obligations, ones we never asked for, can slowly erode our joy and drain our energy. Yet, we keep saying yes because we worry about offending others or appearing ungrateful. Think about the number of times you've walked into a room with a smile on your face while your heart felt elsewhere, or the many moments you felt trapped in a conversation that neither inspired nor interested you, all because you felt obligated to stay. These are the small yet significant sacrifices we make when we allow the weight of social expectations to guide us. How many times have we forced ourselves to attend events because declining felt rude? How often have we dressed up, traveled, and prepared ourselves just to sit through hours of interactions that left us feeling more drained than uplifted? If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. But something shifts around the age of 69. There's an awakening, a profound realization that life is finite and that every single day is precious. This phase of life brings clarity and a sense of urgency to reclaim our time and energy. We begin to see that life, especially in its later stages, is too valuable to waste on anything that doesn't genuinely nourish our spirit. Now is the time to start asking ourselves, what do I truly want? It's time to acknowledge that our presence is not something to be given away lightly. It is a gift that should be shared where it's truly appreciated and where it enriches us in return. Permitting ourselves to say no to social obligations isn't about isolating ourselves or avoiding all social contact. Rather, it's about selectively choosing where we want to be, who we want to spend time with, and what environments bring us a sense of peace and joy. It's about deciding that our time is too precious to be spent anywhere that doesn't uplift our spirit. This is a powerful choice. A choice that says, I value myself and my time enough to spend it meaningfully. Imagine how empowering it is to finally be able to put our well-being first, without guilt, without second-guessing, and without worrying about what others might think. Saying no to obligations we don't enjoy is, in reality, saying yes to ourselves. We are granting ourselves the freedom to embrace moments that truly matter. We are permitting ourselves to nurture our peace of mind, protect our energy, and prioritize our happiness. This choice doesn't make us selfish, it makes us wise. It means that we understand the importance of our well-being, and we are choosing to live in alignment with that understanding. We're allowing ourselves to be selective with our energy, to offer our presence only where it is genuinely valued and reciprocated. This shift in priorities brings with it a newfound sense of freedom. We no longer feel the need to be present everywhere or to spread ourselves thin just to satisfy the expectations of others. Instead, we choose gatherings where we feel uplifted, conversations that inspire us, and people who bring out the best in us. This conscious decision to be fully present in the moments we choose adds a richness to our lives that is incomparable. Every event becomes a cherished memory, every conversation a meaningful exchange, and every connection a genuine bond. We find ourselves in a place where we no longer participate in life passively. We are there fully, in body, mind, and soul, savoring every moment because it truly resonates with us. This freedom to choose how we spend our time is one of the greatest gifts we can give ourselves. It's an acknowledgement of our worth, a celebration of the life we have lived, and a promise to spend our remaining years with intention and purpose. When we look back, we realize that by letting go of unnecessary obligations, we didn't lose anything. Instead, we gained a life that's full of meaning, love, and genuine joy. Fourth, excessive. Accumulation of useless objects and material possessions can often feel like an invisible anchor tethering us to the past, subtly weighing us down in ways we might not fully recognize until the burden becomes overwhelming. Over time, we gradually come to understand that genuine happiness cannot be found in the multitude of things that fill our homes, closets, and shelves. Instead, true joy resides in the rich tapestry of experiences, meaningful connections, and precious moments that fill our hearts and souls. How often do we find ourselves encircled by items that we rarely, if ever, use? These once cherished possessions, which may have held significant meaning at one time, now take up valuable physical and mental space in our lives. They hold memories that we may have outgrown yet find ourselves reluctant to release. Each object seems to encapsulate a fragment of our story, a poignant reminder of who we were during a specific chapter of our lives. Sometimes, letting go of these items feels akin to relinquishing a part of ourselves, creating a complex emotional struggle. Consider the story of Alfredo, a 72-year-old man living in a house that is a vivid testament to his life's journey. His home is filled with an array of memories, cherished family heirlooms, clothes from his youthful days, furniture passed down through generations, trinkets from travels that once felt transformative, and letters from friends and loved ones, many of whom are now only faintly remembered. Each item in Alfredo's home serves as a chapter in his personal history, creating a treasure trove of nostalgia and significance. However, in recent times, Alfredo has started to experience something unsettling. Instead of feeling joy as he walks through his home, he feels suffocated, as if every corner of his space is weighed down by the ghosts of his past. The things he once held dear now crowd his living areas and clutter his mind, creating a prison of nostalgia that stifles his ability to live fully in the present. Each cherished item that should evoke fond memories now feels like an obligation, a reminder of a life he once lived but is no longer connected to. One day, as he gazes around his home, Alfredo confronts an honest and poignant question. Does all this truly make him happy anymore? In that moment of introspection, he realizes that many of his treasured objects no longer carry the same significance they once did. Instead of being sources of joy, they have transformed into burdens, things he feels compelled to maintain, clean, and store rather than enjoy. With a deep breath and a newfound courage, Alfredo decides to embark on a transformative journey of letting go. He understands that this process will not be easy. Each item he contemplates seems to tug at his heartstrings, laden with memories and reminders of places he has been and people he has loved. Yet, with every item he donates, sells, or discards, he begins to experience a growing sense of lightness. What once served as a source of attachment becomes a liberating release, akin to shedding a heavy weight from his heart. Alfredo's transformation is nothing short of profound. As he starts to clear the physical clutter that surrounds him, he notices something unexpected occurring within him. His mind feels less burdened, more open, and receptive to the present and future. His home, which was once filled with objects that anchored him to the past, now feels like a sanctuary, a space where he can breathe deeply, move freely, and welcome new experiences into his life. Through this process of letting go, Alfredo realizes that he is engaging in more than just a mere tidying up of his home. This act is one of self-love and self-respect, a vital recognition that he deserves to live a life unencumbered by the weight of the past. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons meaningful, I invite you to share your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know that you are still here with me on this journey of discovery and growth. In his newfound clarity, Alfredo begins to ask himself two pivotal questions before deciding whether to keep an item. Does this object still bring me joy? Does it still serve a purpose in my life today? If the answer to either question is no, he lets it go, reassured that the memories attached to these items remain safe within him and do not require a physical reminder to be honored. With every item he releases, Alfredo reclaims a little more of his present life, liberating himself from the invisible chains of nostalgia that had held him captive for too long. Soon, His home transforms from a place of obligation into one of intentional living. Where once there were piles of forgotten things, there now exists open space, inviting calm and reflection. With this newfound simplicity, Alfredo discovers a different kind of wealth, one that is not tied to possessions but is rooted in a life unburdened by things that no longer serve him. This journey is not unique to Alfredo. Many of us can relate to the bittersweet attachment we have to our belongings. Yet, the act of letting go of the unnecessary teaches us a beautiful truth. Our value, our memories, and our happiness are not found in material things, but in the intangible experiences and relationships that enrich our lives and fill them with joy. As we release what no longer serves us, we create space for what truly matters. For connection, for laughter, for love, and for the peace that arises from living with intention. Ultimately, life is not measured by the possessions we own, but by the richness of our moments and the depth of our connections with others. By shedding the weight of unnecessary possessions, we rediscover a sense of freedom, allowing ourselves to walk more lightly, feel more deeply, and live with a clarity that clutter could never provide. Embracing simplicity opens our hearts to the blessings we choose to keep, offering us more joy, more peace, and a more open heart to embrace the beauty of each day. Alfredo's story stands as a powerful testament to this transformative journey. By making the conscious choice to let go, he chooses to live not in the shadow of yesterday, but in the fullness of today, where every moment and every breath bring the gift of renewal, peace, and happiness. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 5 routine activities that do not provide personal satisfaction. How often do we find ourselves navigating through our days, engaging in activities simply because they have always been a part of our established routines? These are the tasks we perform on autopilot as if we are watching ourselves from a distance, caught in habits we never think to question. We might catch ourselves thinking, "I have to keep doing this. It's just what I do." Yet, deep down, a nagging realization can surface that these actions have lost their significance. They no longer ignite a spark of joy within us, nor do they offer even the slightest hint of satisfaction. For countless years, we pour our energy into habits, places, and relationships, constructing a routine that feels almost instinctive, like second nature. However, as time marches on, this once comforting routine can start to feel more like a cage than a refuge, entrapping us in a monotonous cycle that often contributes little to our happiness. As we reach a certain stage in life, we are gifted with a unique opportunity, a moment to pause and reflect on these time-worn routines with fresh eyes. We can ask ourselves with sincerity and honesty, does this still serve me? Does it still illuminate my life in any meaningful way? If the answer is a resounding no, then perhaps it's time to summon the courage to embrace change. Life is not meant to be lived in a series of motions that exhaust our spirit or drain our energy, nor in the pursuit of actions that have outlived their original purpose. Just imagine the relief, the newfound lightness that comes from releasing what no longer fits, from bidding farewell to actions that feel like hollow rituals. Letting go of these unfulfilling activities opens the door to new possibilities, an opportunity for something vibrant and inspiring that fills our hearts and minds with a renewed sense of wonder. This transition toward a more fulfilling existence doesn't necessarily require grand gestures or dramatic changes. It can be as uncomplicated as reconnecting with a long-forgotten hobby or exploring an interest we never had the chance to pursue before. Perhaps there's a musical instrument that has gathered dust in a corner, yearning to be played once again. Or maybe there's a novel simmering inside you, filled with untold stories, just waiting for the right moment to be penned. Consider the joy and fulfillment that come from rediscovering these small yet significant activities, from allowing your days to be infused with things that genuinely uplift your spirit. Moreover, now is the ideal moment to shed any lingering sense of obligation surrounding relationships or social gatherings that no longer bring us joy. It's perfectly acceptable to decline invitations to gatherings that feel more like duties than genuine connections. We have the right to choose how we spend our time, focusing on relationships that bring us laughter, who appreciate us for who we truly are, and who fill our lives with warmth and positivity. This newfound freedom to choose isn't solely about cutting things out. It's about intentionally crafting a life that is more vibrant and more aligned with our true selves than ever before. The beauty of living in this manner, where each day resonates with our authentic desires, is that we begin to find meaning in the simplest of things. A quiet morning with a comforting cup of tea can transform into a cherished gift. A walk in nature becomes a delightful adventure, an opportunity to breathe deeply and appreciate the world around us. Shifting our perspective in this way allows us to live with intention, savoring each moment as a precious part of our journey. When we concentrate on what genuinely fulfills us, even in the subtle simplicity of our everyday experiences, we can transition our lives from mere routine to something truly remarkable. Now is the time to start living with intention and passion, to relish the simple joys, and to wholeheartedly embrace the things that resonate deeply within us. Life is waiting, overflowing with undiscovered beauty, and the greatest gift we can bestow upon ourselves is the chance to experience it fully, deeply, and joyfully. Because, after all, there is no better time than now to live a life imbued with purpose, meaning, and an unwavering sense of profound joy. 6. Excessive worry about physical appearance and others' opinions. Throughout our lives, we find ourselves deeply embedded in a society that elevates youth and perfection to unattainable ideals, constantly reminding us that we must maintain an appearance that is not only flawless but also eternally youthful and unchanging. This cultural narrative paints aging as something to be dreaded rather than embraced, inundating us with a barrage of images portraying beauty and promoting endless methods to reverse the effects of time. Each wrinkle, every gray hair, and every subtle alteration in our features is portrayed as a flaw that must be concealed, perpetuating an unrealistic standard of beauty that can feel overwhelmingly oppressive. The pressure to conform to these superficial expectations can cultivate an overwhelming sense of urgency. We often find ourselves compelled to hide our age, donning metaphorical masks of youth that no longer fit. However, as many of us navigate through the complexities of life, a realization often dawns upon us. True beauty is not about erasing or disguising the marks left by time, but rather about embracing them with pride and understanding. Each line etched upon our faces and every strand of silver in our hair narrates a unique story of our journey, illuminating the rich tapestry of experiences that define us. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 4 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. There comes a pivotal moment in life, often around the ages of 69 or 70, when the societal pressures surrounding our appearance begin to diminish. We start to understand that we are not obligated to measure ourselves against standards that fail to honor the intricate and multifaceted nature of a life well lived. Each line on our face, each change in our body, carries with it a memory, an experience, and a piece of our identity that deserves to be celebrated. By accepting ourselves as we are, we grant ourselves the gift of authenticity, not as a static image of beauty but as a dynamic individual who has laughed, cried, and evolved through the myriad ups and downs of life. Of course, nurturing our health remains a vital aspect of our well-being. Engaging in physical activities and nourishing our bodies is essential, providing us with joy and vitality at every stage of life. However, this approach to self-care diverges significantly from the pursuit of a perfect appearance. It shifts the focus away from fitting into molds or adhering to someone else's vision of beauty. Instead, it fosters a sense of comfort within ourselves, embracing our bodies with all their unique markings, and respecting them for the resilience and grace they embody as they carry us through the years. Every wrinkle serves as a page in the story of our lives, every laugh line a testament to moments filled with joy, and every mark on our skin a symbol of our strength and endurance. Real beauty is rooted in authenticity, found in the confidence of a person who is no longer hiding or striving to meet ideals that are misaligned with their true selves. As we reach this stage of acceptance, we discover a profound sense of liberation. The energy that was once consumed by worries about our appearance and comparisons to others can now be redirected toward pursuits that genuinely enrich our lives and bring us joy. We no longer squander precious moments caught in cycles of self-criticism or judgment. Instead, we embrace a kinder, gentler approach to self-care. We can gaze into the mirror and smile, recognizing not flaws but the depth of our character, the soulfulness reflected in our eyes, and the warmth that radiates from our expressions. Acceptance becomes a beautiful gift, one that liberates us to live with more joy, serenity, and gratitude. This is the essence of true beauty, the beauty of living freely, unencumbered by shame or the weight of expectations, and nurtured by a deep sense of self-love and respect. Consider the poignant story of Clara, a woman who, like countless others, spent years feeling entrapped by society's stringent standards of beauty. Now, at the age of 74, she looks back on a life where her physical appearance once dominated her thoughts. In her younger years, Clara was vivacious and dedicated to presenting her best self. She devoted countless hours each week to styling her hair, curating the perfect outfits, and keeping pace with every new beauty trend that emerged. Her skincare routine was rigorous. She invested heavily in anti-aging creams and dreaded the day she would see her first wrinkle appear. For years, the specter of aging loomed over Clara, compelling her to strive to appear younger and to mask any signs that time was taking its toll. Yet, as the years passed, Clara began to notice a profound shift in her perspective. The reflection in the mirror no longer revealed the youthful face she once knew. Instead, it showcased a visage that had been enriched by a lifetime of experiences. Each wrinkle morphed into a reminder of laughter shared. Every crease around her eyes became a repository of cherished memories with loved ones. Clara eventually realized that she no longer wished to combat these marks. To erase them would be to deny the vibrant life she had lived. It was a grueling battle, one that had consumed much of her time, energy, and peace of mind. Then, one fateful day, she made a choice: to release herself from the pursuit of perfection dictated by others and to wholeheartedly embrace her authentic self. Today, Clara continues to care for her health, engaging in regular exercise and nourishing her body and mind. While she still enjoys looking good, her approach has transformed into one of kindness and gentleness. No longer motivated by fear of judgment or the need to appear younger, she finds her beauty in acceptance and in the tranquil realization that she needs only to meet her standards. Each smile and every glance in the mirror now reflect the strength of a woman who has fully embraced life, carrying the joys, memories, and wisdom she has acquired with pride etched upon her face. Clara believes her greatest accomplishment is not rooted in her past beauty but in the inner peace she has cultivated. Every line on her face and every gray hair holds the stories of a lifetime, stories she treasures deeply. Clara's journey serves as a powerful reminder that beauty evolves alongside us, growing deeper and more meaningful with time. As we age, we begin to understand that real beauty is not a fleeting chase after youth but a heartfelt embrace of ourselves, a celebration of our bodies, and an honoring of our unique journeys. The energy once squandered on worry and self-criticism transforms into a wellspring of strength and contentment. By fully accepting ourselves, we unlock a vibrant, joyful, and infinitely more beautiful life. The beauty we discover at this stage is one of depth, resilience, and tranquility, a beauty that requires no external validation because it is rooted in the profound truth of who we are. 7 Comparisons with others' lives. One of the most profound pitfalls that we often find ourselves in as human beings is the relentless comparison of our lives to those of others, a tendency that frequently begins without our awareness. This cycle often takes root during our childhood, when we are first introduced to societal ideals of success, wealth, beauty, and achievement. These notions shape our perceptions and expectations of what a fulfilling life should look like. As we navigate through life, we become surrounded by messages that insist we need to measure up, strive for more, and always seek something better than what we currently possess. As we transition into adulthood, it often feels as though there is always someone who has reached a significant milestone before us, achieved something greater, or lives a life that seems more fulfilling, joyful, or worthy. This ongoing comparison can create a sense of inadequacy, and with each passing year, we begin to uncover a deeper truth that lies beneath this surface-level judgment. The comparisons we engage in are not only exhausting, they rob us of our inner peace, our joy, and our self-respect. As we accumulate life experiences, we start to recognize the distinct nature of each person's journey, realizing that each path is shaped by unique battles, heartbreaks, and moments of triumph. No one else can fully comprehend the value and significance of our personal experiences but us. By the time we reach the age of 69 or beyond, we have lived long enough to witness the ups and downs of our journeys. We come to understand that there is no one-size-fits-all script for a successful life. Constantly measuring ourselves against the accomplishments or circumstances of others only diminishes our appreciation for the life we have cultivated. This habit strips away our sense of victory, blinds us to our resilience, and causes us to forget the remarkable experiences that make our journey distinctively ours. It's essential to recognize that the act of comparison not only squanders our energy but also denies us the opportunity to fully embrace and celebrate all we have endured and the challenges we have overcome. Each life resembles a mosaic, intricately pieced together with both light and dark moments, joys and sorrows, challenges and victories. When we fall into the trap of comparison, we often forget that others' lives are also filled with unseen struggles and private battles. Success and happiness are deeply personal experiences. There is no single pre-made mold that guarantees fulfillment. What brings satisfaction to one person may hold no significance for another. We are all uniquely defined by our dreams, limitations, values, and strengths. This individuality is what infuses life with its beauty. The more we attempt to conform to someone else's definition of success, the more we risk losing touch with our true selves, our authentic paths, and our deeper purposes. If you're still watching this video and find these insights valuable, please comment 3 below to let me know you're still here with me. Take a moment to reflect on the choices you've made. Each time you took a risk, persevered through challenging times, or decided to walk away from something that no longer served you. These moments carry immense weight and beauty because they belong to you. Each decision we make shapes our path and contributes to our identity. When we slip into the comparison trap, we overlook the tremendous value of our choices and the unique journey we've crafted for ourselves. It's vital to look back with pride and acknowledge the courage and strength it took to make those pivotal decisions. Perhaps now, with the wisdom that comes from a lifetime of experiences, it is time to release the compulsion to compare ourselves to others and instead focus inward. We should regard our own lives with the love, respect, and gratitude that we have always deserved. There is profound freedom in ceasing to measure ourselves against the lives of others. This freedom allows us to breathe deeply, appreciate our existence, and recognize our lives for what they truly are. As we shift our focus away from comparison, we begin to see that our lives are not lacking. We are enough just as we are. We start to notice the richness of our own stories, the beauty of our unique journeys, and the deep, quiet contentment that comes from knowing we have lived authentically. We no longer need external validation to feel worthy, for we have come to recognize our intrinsic value. For too long, we have sought affirmation from outside sources, but now is the time to understand that our approval is the only validation we truly require. Every lesson learned, every tear shed, and every joy experienced has layered meaning to our identity. We can honor our paths, appreciating that they have made us stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. Our narratives are filled with moments that are just as significant as anyone else's, and they are deserving of admiration. Let us choose to abandon the habit of comparison once and for all. Let us begin to cherish our journeys and celebrate the lives we have built, embracing their glorious imperfections. It is through this acceptance, this self-compassion, that we discover a happiness that cannot be diminished. We are not meant to live someone else's story. We are meant to live our own lives fully and freely. In doing so, we uncover a wellspring of peace, a depth of gratitude, and a sense of fulfillment that no one can provide us because it has been within us all along. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 5 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. 8. Surrounding yourself with toxic and negative relationships. As we navigate through the complex tapestry of life, we inevitably forge relationships. Some that enrich our existence and others that gradually, almost imperceptibly, erode our sense of peace and well-being. It's astonishing how we can become so accustomed to certain individuals that we fail to recognize the detrimental impact they have on our lives. We might spend years maintaining connections with people who do little more than sap our energy, leaving us feeling depleted and unappreciated. These individuals may come in many forms. Friends who only reach out to vent their frustrations, family members who seem unable to resist critiquing our every move, or colleagues who contribute nothing but negativity and criticism. This cycle can wear down even the most resilient spirit, yet we often continue to tolerate it out of habit or a misplaced sense of obligation. It's staggering to consider the amount of time we invest in toxic relationships, all while they silently weigh us down. Perhaps we have been conditioned to believe that unwavering loyalty is a virtue that surpasses all others, or maybe we fear the disappointment we might cause others if we choose to step back. However, it's essential to ask ourselves, what about the loyalty we owe to ourselves? The time and energy we expend on individuals who show no regard for our well-being can never be reclaimed. This burden only grows heavier with each passing day, detracting from our joy and inner peace. Isn't life too precious, too fleeting, to be filled with relationships that leave us feeling less than valued and respected? After 69 years of experience, it's time to pause, reflect, and intentionally choose which relationships we wish to nurture moving forward. Distancing ourselves from toxic individuals is not an act of selfishness. Rather, it is a profound expression of self-care and self-respect. At this stage in life, every day is a gift. Our well-being, happiness, and tranquility should be our top priorities. We deserve to be surrounded by individuals who uplift us, who bring positivity and encouragement into our lives, who celebrate our victories, and who are there to provide understanding and compassion in our times of need. There is no longer any room for those who only offer criticism and negativity, or who blatantly disregard our boundaries. Life is too valuable to spend in the company of those who do not appreciate us for who we are. Consider the story of Arthur, a man who dedicated his life to being a support for others, often at the expense of his happiness. At 81 years old, Arthur reflects on friendships and family bonds that once brought him joy but have gradually morphed into burdens more than blessings. Among these was a longtime friend, who seemed to carry a dark cloud wherever he went. Each conversation with his friend was soaked in complaints and negative remarks, making it hard for Arthur to remember a time when he heard anything uplifting. Arthur also had a nephew who would frequently visit, not to share joyful moments or offer support, but to remind Arthur of his supposed failures, question his life choices, and highlight what he considered Arthur's shortcomings. Each interaction left Arthur feeling emotionally drained and diminished. For years, he felt obligated to maintain these relationships, convinced that his sense of duty required him to endure the negativity. Over time, however, Arthur began to recognize the toll these relationships took on his emotional well-being. The weight of maintaining these ties became increasingly burdensome. Then one day, during a candid conversation with his neighbor, everything changed. The neighbor, noticing Arthur's exhaustion, posed a simple yet profound question. Why do you keep people in your life who don't bring you peace? This question struck a deep chord within Arthur. It was then that Arthur realized he no longer needed to shoulder this burden. With a blend of courage and relief, he made the difficult decision to step back from his toxic friend and establish firm boundaries with his nephew. This transition was not easy. In fact, it was one of the most challenging choices he had ever faced. Letting go of people who had been part of his life for so long felt like an emotional upheaval, yet he understood it was essential for his well-being. By setting these boundaries, Arthur reclaimed his personal space for joy, calm, and connections with people who truly valued him. Slowly, he began to notice a significant shift. As he released the relationships that no longer served him, he attracted new friendships, individuals who infused genuine joy and positivity into his life. His social circle may have shrunk, but it became infinitely richer. Today, Arthur awakens each morning feeling lighter, unburdened by the criticisms and judgments that once weighed him down. He no longer feels guilty for prioritizing his peace over obligations that brought him little more than distress. Instead, he feels empowered. He has come to realize that prioritizing his happiness, tranquility, and sense of self is an act of profound self-love. By letting go of relationships that demanded more than they offered, he has made space in his life for people who appreciate him for who he is. Individuals who respect his journey, encourage his dreams, and offer unwavering support. Now, Arthur enjoys a state of tranquility he hasn't felt in years. He understands that life is not meant to be spent fulfilling the expectations of others who do not genuinely care for our happiness. By surrounding himself with people who uplift, respect, and cherish him, he has rediscovered a zest for life that he thought he had lost. And isn't that what we all deserve? We are not here to please everyone or to maintain ties out of fear of judgment or guilt. Instead, we are here to live authentically, love deeply, and protect our inner peace. As we reflect on the relationships in our own lives, it's crucial to ask, do these individuals bring us joy, or do they leave us feeling drained? If the answer leans toward the latter, it may be time to let go, to embrace a life enriched by the warmth of true companionship. Life is too short to waste with those who do not uplift us, respect us, or celebrate who we are. By surrounding ourselves with love, support, and people who cherish us, we can cultivate a beautiful life. The rest we can release without guilt or regret, knowing that in doing so, we honor ourselves and our journey. 9. Unattainable or irrelevant goals. As we journey through life and accumulate experiences, it becomes increasingly apparent that not every goal we've set for ourselves carries true meaning or even belongs to us in the first place. In our younger years, we often believed that establishing goals was the ultimate key to achieving fulfillment, as if meticulously checking off items on a to-do list would guarantee our happiness. We were led to believe that success was measured by the goals we reached and the milestones we achieved. However, life has a remarkable way of revealing that many of these goals were not genuinely aligned with our desires. Instead, they were frequently shaped by societal expectations, family traditions, or the whims of fleeting phases in our lives, during which we desperately sought to find our place in a complex world. Now, with the wisdom and richness of 69 years of life experience behind us, we can look back and understand that not all the objectives we once pursued held significant value. While some may have seemed essential at the time, the passage of time brings clarity, allowing us to recognize that certain dreams were nothing more than illusions, aspirations we chase not for the joy of achieving them, but simply out of fear of letting go. This realization is profoundly transformative. It's liberating to accept that we can release goals that no longer serve us, goals we may have pursued out of habit, a sense of obligation, or even a touch of pride. There is deep wisdom in acknowledging that it is entirely acceptable to leave behind pursuits that no longer bring joy or add meaningful value to our lives. Letting go of these goals is not an admission of failure. Rather, it is a conscious decision to redirect our energy, time, and heart toward endeavors that genuinely resonate with who we are today. Often, those very goals we stubbornly clung to, even as they lost relevance, drained us of our passion and vitality, leaving us feeling empty and frustrated. Releasing these goals is not a sign of defeat. It is an act of courage and self-respect, a choice to prioritize our well-being over outdated aspirations. In choosing to let go of unattainable or irrelevant goals, we also create space for new dreams. Dreams that reflect our true selves and our authentic values. It is important to recognize that goals do not need to be grand or extravagant to hold significance. With age comes the realization that some of the most fulfilling objectives are the simplest ones. Spending quality time with loved ones, creating moments of joy, learning to appreciate each day as it comes, or investing in our health and well-being. These goals focus not on external achievements, but on cultivating the inner peace and contentment that arise from being true to ourselves. Imagine dedicating our energy not to some lofty ambition, but to goals that enrich our daily existence. Goals that are deeply personal and resonate with us on a soulful level. The path of wisdom teaches us the importance of adaptability and acceptance, showing us that our dreams and desires will evolve alongside us. This empowers us to change course whenever necessary, realigning our goals with what brings us happiness now, rather than clinging to what may have seemed important years ago. It is perfectly okay if some of our earlier aspirations are now deemed unattainable. What matters is that we recognize we do not have to chase after them. True success lies in the courage to evolve, to shed the burdens that no longer serve us, and to set our sights on goals that foster joy, purpose, and fulfillment in the present moment. At this stage of life, it is about finding balance and peace, savoring the journey rather than fixating solely on the destination. Life transcends mere accomplishments. It encompasses how we choose to live, how we fill our days with purpose and nurture tranquility within our hearts. Each step of this journey is a precious gift, and the goals we choose to set today should reflect this perspective. Consider the profound peace that comes from knowing our goals are authentically ours, that they align with our deepest values, and that they empower us to live harmoniously with ourselves. This shift, from chasing external achievements to nurturing our well-being, from climbing metaphorical mountains to enjoying the view, represents perhaps the most significant transformation we can undertake. Let us embrace this phase of life with a spirit of gratitude, allowing ourselves to shed the layers of past ambitions that no longer serve us. We should grant ourselves the freedom to focus on what truly matters. This is not about quitting. It is about possessing the wisdom to choose our paths with intention, to pursue a life that feels right, and to discover joy in every moment along the way. Ultimately, this is the greatest goal we can set for ourselves: a life lived with purpose, peace, and authentic happiness. If you are still watching this video and finding these lessons useful, please comment number 6 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Thank you for your valuable time. Final words. Reaching the remarkable milestones of 70, 80, or even 90 years of age is not solely about counting the years you've lived. It's about embracing the extraordinary freedom to truly and fully engage in life. This stage of existence is a rare and invaluable gift, offering you the unique opportunity to release the burdens of long-held worries and anxieties, allowing them to drift away like leaves carried off by a gentle breeze. It is a precious time to focus on what genuinely matters most: the moments that ignite joy within you, the people who envelop you in warmth and love, and the small, everyday miracles that weave the rich tapestry of life's beauty. Imagine the exhilarating lightness of living without the oppressive weight of society's expectations or the relentless rush to keep pace with the world around you. How liberating it is to simply be yourself, to cherish who you are, and to reflect on the journey that has brought you to this moment. Every day presents you with the empowering choice to embrace joy, reconnect with your innermost self, and discover pleasure in the simplest treasures that life offers. It's essential to remember that change and growth are entirely possible at any age. There is no expiration date on the pursuit of new experiences, and life still has an abundance of wonderful surprises waiting just around the corner. Happiness does not stem from material possessions or the accolades of achievement. Rather, it blossoms from within us, cultivated by the act of embracing our true selves and savoring each moment with a heart full of gratitude and wonder. You do not need to chase happiness in distant dreams or postpone your joy while waiting for the ideal circumstances to align. Happiness exists here and now, in this very breath you take, nestled within your heart, just as you are in this moment. So, allow yourself the grace to feel the peace that comes from understanding that you are enough, exactly as you are. Let go of the notion that you must wait for tomorrow. Today is brimming with potential for joy, meaning, and fulfillment. The sooner you recognize this profound truth, the sooner you can embrace a life filled with lightness and freedom. Live fully, love deeply, and seize the day with open arms. This is your moment. Your opportunity to experience an authentic, unbound life that is uniquely yours. Embrace it wholeheartedly, and let the beauty of this stage of life unfold before you. As we reach the end of this journey together, take a moment to reflect on what resonated with you. What new insights or lessons will you carry forward in your life? The path to living fully and authentically is ongoing, and each of us has the power to embrace change and renewal, no matter our age. I'd love to hear from you. Share one thing you've learned today and how you plan to bring it into practice in your life. Let's build a community of inspiration and growth together. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment below, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content that uplifts and empowers. Thank you for watching, and let's continue this journey toward a life of purpose and joy.